girls do it well. Live fast, die young, bad girls.
This is Lucentio's house. My father bears more toward the marketplace. Thither must I, and here I leave you, sir.
You shall not choose, but drink before you go. I think I shall command your welcome here, and by all likelihood, some is.
I marvel Cambio comes not all this while.
What's he that knocks that would beat down that gate?
The Senor Lucentio within, sir?
He's within, sir, but not to be spoken with all.
What if a man bring him £100 or two to make merry withal?
Keep your £100, for he shall need none as long as I live.
I told you your son was well beloved in Padua. Do you hear, sir? To leave frivolous circumstances. I pray you, tell Signor Lucentio that his father is come from Pisa and is here at the door to speak to him.
His father has come from Padua and is now looking out thy window.
Art thou his father?
Aye, sir, his mother says so, if I may believe her.
Why, how now, gentlemen? Why, this is flat knavery to take upon another man's name.
I have seen them in the church together, God send them good shipping. But who is here, my old master Vincentio? Now we are undone and brought to nothing.
Come hither, crack hemp.
I hope I may choose, sir.
Come hither, you rogue. What, have you forgotten me?
Forgot you? No, sir, I can never forget you, for I've never seen you in all of my life.
What? You notorious villain! Didst thou forget thy master's own father, Vincentio?
What? My old worshipful old master? Yes, marry, sir. See where he looks out the window.
Is it so indeed?
Help, help! There's a madman trying to murder me!
Help, son! Help, Senor Baptista!
Prithee, Catherine, let's stand aside and see the end of this controversy.
Sir, were you that offered to beat my servant?
What am I, sir? Nay, what are you, sir? O immortal gods, a fine villain, a silken doublet, a velvet hose, a scarlet cloak, and a Copaton hat. I am undone. Oh, I am undone. While I play good at husband at home, my son and his servants are all at the university.
How now, what's the matter?
What, is he lunatic?
You seem a sober ancient gentleman by your habit, but you are a madman by your words. Why, sir, what comes it if I wear pearl and gold? I thank my good father that I am able to maintain it.
Thy father, O villain, he's a sailmaker in Bergamo.
You mistake, sir, you mistake, sir. Pray, what do you think is his name?
Lucentio, oh, he hath murdered his master. Lay hold on him, I charge you in the Duke's name. Oh, my son, call forth those villains. Where is my son?
Call forth an officer.
Away, mad ass. His name is Lucentio. My only son, heir to all my lands, Signor Vicentio.
Carry this mad knave to the gal. Father Baptista, I charge you see that he be forthcoming.
Yeah, carry me to the gal.
Halt! He shall not go to prison.
Talk not, Signor Gremio. I say he shall go to prison.
Take heed, Senor Baptista, lest be coney catched in this business. I dare swear this to be the right Vincentio.
Swear if thou darest.
Nay, I do not swear it.
Then thou wert best say that I am not Lucentio.
Yes, I know thee to be Senor Lucentio.
With the daughter, to the gaol with him.
Thus strangers may be hailed and abused. O monstrous villain.
Fast, die young, bad girls do it well. Live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. My chain hits my chest when I'm banging on the dashboard. My chain hits my chest when I'm banging on the radio.
Okay, good evening, folks. Welcome to What's New with the Shrew. I'm here, your favorite anchor, Patricia Plum, here with
Victor Valencia.
Today we have a special episode featuring Act 5, Scene 1.
Let's just talk about the acting for a second.
Oof.
It was great.
It was pretty good. These are up-and-coming actors. They are all boys.
So much to talk about.
Violence,
So much to talk
so much to
about.
talk
So much.
I'd say one point that I really stood out to me was that Shakespeare uses deception in the form of disguise to convey a dominant effect of suspense. When the merchant is pretending to be Vincentio, the pedant, he says, "Thou liest. His father is come to Padua, and here looking out at the window." So this is when the real Vincentio arrives in looking for his son, Lucentio. However, when he knocks on the door, the pedant is disguised as Vincentio, and when they encounter one another, they realize that he's pretending to be Vincentio. So, I mean, it's a bit awkward, if I do say so, but the deception starts to unravel in kind of a violent manner, actually, as the truth comes out about who really is Vincentio. There's a lot of confusion, and there's some betrayal also that happens between the characters.
And that ties into the next point that we were going to make. In another quote by Vincentio, he says, "Come hither, crack hemp." Crack hemp is a slur that means a rogue that deserves to be hanged. Shakespeare uses this violent diction during this section. By calling him a rogue, Vincentio is adding to the serious, violent mood and is using an angry tone. The use of the term crack hemp also kind of adds humor to the scene despite its seriousness. It is a very unique name to call someone, and makes light of the situation because of its obscurity. And I find it very interesting that Shakespeare chooses to characterize these actors in this way.
But also, I think another thing that really adds to the violence and just kind of like the seriousness of the whole feel of this scene is on page 77 when Vincentio beats Biondello because he pretends that he doesn't recognize him. And so this kind of re-emphasizes the violence and the humor in the scene. And it also shows characterization of Vincentio because without even thinking or hesitating, he is willing to beat the man just because he is so appalled at his lack of loyalty to him. And so this also kind of shows his feeling of superiority because he just believes that everyone should be helping him and the servant should be showing him more respect. But this kind of adds to the humor in a way, although he's beating him, which is not very...
It's not very funny.
It's not like a knee slapper, but you know, it's kind of extreme. It was so over the top that it almost made light of it. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to take a quick little break.
So stick around, folks.
But and then afterward, we're gonna hear live from Italy from Jamal Jackson.
Another great performance by the Shakespeare enthusiasts. This time they did Act 5. Anyways, let's get deeper into the context. Shakespeare doesn't only use situational irony to create comedic relief, he also uses it to wrap up the main plot of the story. This happens because as Vincentio has been acting angrily and is being arrested by the soldiers, Lucentio appears to explain to both Vincentio and Signor Baptista why everyone is lying and what is happening. That is why Shakespeare uses situational irony, not only to create comedic relief, but also to wrap up the plot of the story. Signing off, Jamal Jackson.
Very good analysis made by our own Jamal Jackson. One theme that we notice throughout this scene is the message that no disguise can permanently hide a man's true identity. Although Tranio and Lucentio's scheme worked for so long, the whole scheme came crashing down and the boys looked foolish. This relates to the bigger picture and the idea that lies must eventually always find its way out.
There's also betrayal that is prevalent in Act 5, Scene 1 because of the lying and deception that goes with all of the disguises. And it's not really because of the disguises themselves, but because when the real Vincentio arrives and he's expecting his former servants to stand up for him and say, oh, this is actually him, Tranio and Biondello do not acknowledge that is him, and they pretend not to notice him and recognize him. So this makes Vincentio very angry because he feels that there's a lack of loyalty and that they should be coming forth for him.
It's very understandable. I can see why he's so frustrated. Oh, what is this? Oh,
Breaking
what is this?
news!
Is this breaking news?
It's from our very own Sarah Smith.
Your second favorite woman anchor.
She's up in Canada.
Canada?
Canada.
Yeah, where's Vancouver?
Yeah. We better hear what she has to say.
Yeah, let's over
Probably
to you,
some-
Sarah.
Yep.
Hello. Yeah, I'd be #1 anchor too if you paid me that much. Patricia isn't even. We're live. Hi, this is Sarah Smith coming to you live from Vancouver, Canada with breaking news about Taming of the Shrew. I've just been informed that situational irony is used to add humor and suspense to Act 5, Scene 1. Situational irony is present since the audience knows the true identities of Vincentio and the merchant, but the characters in the play have no idea who's who. This is entertaining as we watch the merchant claim to be Vincentio without knowing he's talking to the real Vincentio. And because of this miscommunication, Shakespearean insults are exchanged between the characters, and who doesn't love Shakespearean insults? Am I right, Canada? I'm right. This adds to the humorous tone of the dialogue, making it very, very entertaining to watch. Suspense is also added by situational irony because we don't know what's going to happen next as everyone's disguises start to fall apart and Vincentio gets angrier by the second. The motif of parent and child relationships is also reestablished by the appearance of Vincentio, and the parental tone of Vincentio being worried about his son and wanting the best for him is a reoccurring idea seen through Baptista, Catherine, and Bianca's father, which makes it a reoccurring motif throughout the play. Back to you, Victor and Patricia.
Well said, Sarah. That really was breaking news. So we're gonna have to
wrap it up.
wrap it up. We are so glad that you joined us tonight.